The Movie Madness continues as Rick and Rick break down their greatest sci-fi movies of all time.
Okay, so my number 7 is, this will be no surprise to you, The 13th Floor. So The 13th Floor of 1999, so same year as The Matrix. I think they were within a couple months of each other, and I think one, obviously The Matrix overshadowed everything, but they're completely different movies too. So The 13th Floor is sort of this virtual or simulated world storyline similar to The Matrix, but it's like The Matrix meets a Raymond Chandler novel. It's a noir mystery set within this context of these simulated worlds. Acting is terrible. The lead in it is, I think, Craig Bierko, but it had Gretchen Mol and Vincent D'Onofrio, and it had Dennis Haysbert in it, and it had that guy, Armin Mueller-Stahl, I think was his name, and he's great in this. He's kind of the mentor for the main character and has helped create this simulated world. Well, he shows up dead, and this mystery gets going, and the main character tries to solve it and discovers that reality isn't quite what it appears to be for anyone. And it's really an interesting exploration of the simulation theory that Elon Musk and others have really grabbed onto.
So this one was on my overflow. This was one that I struggled to not have in my top 10. I loved this movie when it came out. You're absolutely right. The acting in the movie wasn't great. There were times where the plot even kind of fell apart a little bit, but overall, this concept, the idea, just totally resonated with me. And I gotta wonder how much of influence of other things that we've seen. Like in the last year, we've had a number of TV shows where they've kind of congealed around this idea of we're living in this artificial worlds, and we're living within a dream world. And obviously we've seen the influence on folks like Elon Musk. Yeah. And so you got to wonder, did he see this movie? Was he influenced by this movie, or I think there was a book that was associated with this. Yes. Did he read the book and was influenced by that?
Yeah, the book was not, I don't think it was called The 13th Floor, but it was in the 1960s. And the main character in the movie is the name of the author, if I remember correctly. But it does explore this whole idea, which is pretty impressive for the 1960s, that everything is really a computer simulation. And the theory is that in the future, people would advance technology to the degree that they could create simulated worlds where the inhabitants would live and breathe and feel pain and be born and die, live out their lives, and have no idea that they're not for real. So just a great concept and enjoyable movie. Cool.
All right. So number 7 for me was Inception. And, much like you were talking about where it's a little bit of a love story, this isn't your traditional sci-fi movie. What I loved about this movie in particular is that I enjoyed the first time watching this, but I had to watch it 2, 3, 4 times to make sure that I caught all the details, because this thing, not to, totally joke about the idea of living within a dream, but everything was an onion. You kept peeling back layers and layers and layers. And the further you got into it, the more you realized you missed something on the last layer. Yeah. And, a movie that, can, drive you to learn over and over again every time you watch it just was incredibly powerful to me. And of course, there was the whole aspect of, challenging, the perception of, could this really happen? Is this effectively what happens in real society when you have somebody who is very convincing that you talk to? And,
right.
Is there a real side to this whole thing? So this is, absolutely had to be in my top 10.
So I have to ask you, in your view, was Leonardo DiCaprio's character in a dream or in reality at that ending moment?
I think he was in a dream.
That's where I landed too.
And the reason I think that is, if you think about the typical way that we end our movies, we end with that happy ending. But I think part of what Inception was about was challenging some of that. Mm-hmm. And the idea that, he had, left and rejoined his family in the real world, I don't think is realistic. And, people debate whether or not that spinning top fell over or not. And I would argue that if the spinning top fell over, it's really him giving up. It's not him going back to the real world. It was really him deciding to stay where he is and living within that world.
Ooh, I like that. I like that theory. Christopher Nolan is okay with people kind of walking away, scratching their head at the end of his movies. The other thing that strikes me about that movie is it is essentially the cast of The Dark Knight Rises, other than Leonardo DiCaprio. Everyone in that movie is in.
I hadn't considered that.
Yep. Every single person is in The Dark Knight Rises, other than Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's fantastic. I hadn't realized that. It's kind of like J.J. Abrams, where he keeps pulling along the same actors into all of his TV series.
Exactly.